Welcome to Olympian Cares, giving you the best in water testing and analysis. Today we're looking at EDF, the Environmental Defense Fund, and we're looking at child care and water requirements. And this is extremely important whether you're in the city, Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, or if you're in a rural area. And just take note that 11 states, and this includes New York City, require licensed child care facilities to test their drinking water for lead. Now, this is extremely important because children under the age of 6 are most vulnerable to the detrimental impacts of lead exposure. It can harm them, it can kill them, it can cause brain development of younger children to stunt, resulting in learning and behavioral problems for the rest of their lives. And despite the particular vulnerability of young children to lead exposure, the majority of states do not require licensed child care facilities to test their drinking water for lead and take action if it's found. So that's a big issue. So what are the facilities covered? The requirements do apply to child care centers, smaller home-based or family child care, or both, and all requirements are currently only cover licensed facilities. They also have test timing, frequency, and location, and the required frequency for testing ranges from a one-time test to testing every 1 to 6 years, often coinciding with licenses which are renewed. Now think about that, 1 to 6 years. That could be a huge problem because, say in that 5-year gap, lead does appear in the water somewhere. And there's lead in drinking water one time that can cause harm to children. And that's not something that needs to be risked or anybody wants to risk. And the other issue is while most require sampling at all potential sources of drinking water, cooked drink, or mixed infant formula, a few states only require limited sampling. So they could get the sample from a place that doesn't have an issue, and there's still an issue. That's why it's extremely important, especially when it comes to childcare, to get professional testing as much as possible, at least once a year. And the lead level used to trigger corrective action is 5 parts per billion, ppb in most states, New York City, Illinois, and 2 ppb, Vermont, and California. Also, corrective action and notification requires action if lead levels exceed this standard, usually includes stopping the use of affected fixtures and providing water that meets the standard. And we can take a look and see the information about California, Vermont, and New York requiring the posting of results publicly online. So we can come down here, we can look at the different states until we come to New York, and we can see child care programs, home-based, not covered, existing facilities within 60 days of opening, and every 5 years thereafter, sampling all drinking water faucets and fountains and equal or greater to 15 ppb, parts per billion. Also, we have the provided water bottle until the remedial actions in corrective action plan are completed, and the results posted by City at Child Care Connect. You can actually take a look at the PDF here, as well as additional resources. So there's some concerning things to see here. That child care, especially when it comes to lead, could be neglected, and the sampling size is not as much as desirable. That's why it's always a good idea to have your water professionally tested to protect the children.